Hello everyone, welcome to the class of English Literature. So today we are going to start a very interesting chapter which signifies our faith in God. Now as we know, we all are stuck in the phase of coronavirus and the only thing that we are looking upon now is our faith. We only believe in two people now. One is doctor and other is God. We feel that they are the only saviors of our life. So how do we connect with these people? How do we thank them? So to thank them, we write them mail. We write them letters. We write on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc. etc. But now we are going to talk about a story where there were no such applications used. So how were people communicating? How were they interacting with each other? So the first question for you for today is, you all have to explore about postcards. What were the postcards and what were they used for? Now coming on to the chapter, the name of the chapter is A Letter to God. Faith can move mountains, but what shall we faith in? Now what does it mean? It means that the faith can do anything. If you have strong faith, you can even move a mountain. For a fun side, I hope you all have seen the movie Tube Light, in which we all saw that Salman Khan believed that he would move the mountains, and it happened also. We know the reason why it moved, but Salman Khan in movie believed that he had moved that mountain. Jokes apart, we all should have strong faith. But the point is, whom should we faith? These days, not everyone is loyal, not everyone is going to fulfill our mission. Then whom can we faith? So now let's start the chapter, and probably at the end of the story we'll get to know the conclusion. So here we are going to talk about a farmer, Lencho. He was a small farmer and he has a small family which consists of his wife and his children. Now one day what happens, Lencho was just sitting and relaxing and he's talking to his wife and he says that we have so many farms, we have good crops, we have everything in our life. The only thing that is missing is the raindrops, the droplets. Because children, as we know that crops need water for their production. So what was Lencho saying? He was saying that they need water so that the crops can be improved and be fresh. So when he was talking to his wife who was preparing supper in the kitchen, supper is dinner. So that time, as he was expected, the rain starts falling. So he says to his wife that he should go out and sees that how it is raining. So he goes outside to check the rain, and his younger children were playing outside and his older boys were working on fields. So when he goes out and checks rain droplets, he becomes extremely happy. Why happy? Because he was so sure that this time he's going to have good crop. But as the destiny has decided, the rain turned into storm and hailstones began to fall. Hailstone means the small pieces of ice which falls from sky. And when the hailstorm started to fall, it spoiled everything. Every bit of crop spoiled all the crops. There was only dust and ice and mud, and all the crops had been ruined. Now the Lencho, this farmer is hopeless, and he says to his wife that now we are going to die of hunger. We have no option left. This was the only support that we have for our survival. But now since our crop is spoiled, now our life is in danger. So his wife tells him that. What she tells him? She tells him that never think like this, that you are going to die of hunger. Nobody dies of hunger. It is just we have to think of an alternative, a solution to a problem. Though there is no hope, but we will certainly do something about our problem. Now what happens? Lencho tells to his wife that he has a solution. Now what was the solution? He tells her that he is going to write a letter to God. Now as we all know that God sees us every time, he knows everything. So he also decided to write a letter to God, and he thinks that if he writes his problem to God, the God is going to help him in any way possible. So he writes a letter, and in that letter he writes that, God, dear God, all my farm, my crop have been ruined in the hailstorm. So I need 100 pesos so that I can sow my crops again. Now what is pesos? Pesos is the unit of Mexican currency. So after writing the letter, he put the letter inside an envelope and he went to post office and put this letter inside the post box. Now when the postmaster receives the letter, after seeing the heading to the God, what is to the God? That Lencho has written the address of God to the God. And as he read the letter, as he read what he has written on it, he started laughing. He took this letter to postmaster and shows him. Now they both start laughing. But gradually the postmaster becomes serious. Why? Because he was very sad. He was feeling sad about this man. And at the same time he feels happy by seeing the faith of that person in God. And he thinks that he will help him. Now, to help him, he has to open his letter. And as he opens his letter, he gets to know the story of this farmer, Lencho. So the postmaster decides that he will collect money from his employees. So when he tells his employees about his idea, so they all agrees with him and they collect money for the farmer. And the postmaster also gives the half part of his salary and he also collects from his friends and relatives. And he managed to collect 70 pesos, just a little bit more than what he has asked for. So the next Sunday, when the Lencho comes to post office to collect his money, when he saw 70 pesos, he becomes angry. Why? Because he was asked for 100 pesos. He asked for 100 pesos. By seeing the amount 70 pesos, he gets angry and he thinks that the supremacy, the God, he cannot do any mistake. So he again writes a letter, and in this letter he writes that God, please send me the remaining money, as I have received only 70 pesos, but this time, please this time, don't send the money through the mail, because these post office employees are the bunch of crooks, means they are cheaters. They have taken his money. He thinks that if God will send money through mail, this time also the post office employees are going to take his money. They will steal his money. So he asked to send him separately. So now this is all about the chapter, A Letter to God. This was about a farmer who has immense faith in God. So this farmer, how he requests his needs, requests his desire through a letter, this is all about it. So in our life also, children, we sometimes we consider our people as God. Why? Because they help us in difficult situation. And sometimes, like Lencho, we are not able to recognize good person who do good deeds. So I hope you all have understood the chapter. So thank you. Now I'll see you in my next video where I'll be giving you line to line explanation of the chapter. So till then, you stay safe and keep studying. Thank you.